What is the reality of Hijrah for digital nomads? So, I grew up in the UK. I've traveled to over 25 countries. I've lived in multiple countries, both Muslim and non Muslim, and I now reside long term in Indonesia, alhamdulillah. So, I've actually lived the process. So, I'm going to cover 4 key points about life as a digital nomad, making Hijrah so you have more clarity when making your decision. So, the country matters is point number one. Most digital nomads, they're very productivity, efficiency orientated, myself included. So a lot of Muslim majority countries, though, are not like that. They are a lot more laid back, traditional way of living, kind of just doing everything by call, just a lot more laid back, a lot more relaxed. So I've found Indonesia and Malaysia, though, to be absolutely fantastic countries as a digital nomad. So and we're going to talk later about which specific part of it because it's definitely not the entire country. So previously, I lived in Thailand, close to Bangkok, and I now find myself a lot more productive here in Indonesia. So, yeah, let alone the benefits for Deen, like productivity in relation to Deen and just quality of Deen is infinitely better. But this video, we're going to just focus on more the productivity side of it. So, yeah, great Wi Fi. You've got really good Wi-Fi here, alhamdulillah. Compared to like Egypt, where I was previously staying, is way better here. You've got great infrastructure as well. You've got like the malls are insane here. It's got the most malls in the whole world in Jakarta. You're able to outsource so much admin tasks day to day, which ultimately makes you more productive. So I found Indonesia and Malaysia to be countries which massively have those elements. So the city also matters. Some cities in the country are going to be very laid back, non work focused. Some of them are going to be heavily work focused. So, yeah, generally, I think this applies to almost every country in the world. The capital and the big cities are going to be a lot more efficiency work focused, and the outer cities, the beach areas, etc., are going to be less work focused. Like Lombok in Indonesia, which a lot of Muslims know about, is obviously going to be a lot more relaxed. Certain different nature areas, blah, blah, blah is going to be more relaxed. But if you're close to Jakarta, you're in Jakarta or surrounding cities, people are going to be moving there for work. So, yeah, I live close to Jakarta personally. There's a bunch of people from all over Indonesia. They come here specifically to work. And the city overall is extremely convenient as a nomad. So convenient with deliveries. I've made a bunch of videos on how, like, why it's convenient, etc. So you can check those out on the channel. So, networking opportunities, yeah, so is it like Bali? Is it like Thailand? Is it like Dubai? For networking as a nomad, are people flocking to Jakarta for business networking? No. There's no beating around the bush, no. Um, However, is it as convenient for work? Absolutely. I find it to be a lot more. Can you work hard on business? Absolutely. More so. You have a lot less distractions and your cost of living is significantly less than if you're going to be living in a place like Dubai, etc. So you can take a lot more networking trips anyway. But I find it to be a really good thing to have a really productive base, somewhere where I can be so efficient. I don't have all these distractions, etc. And then you can take the networking trips as well. You can take the trips to Umrah, etc. A lot easier when your cost of living is significantly lower. So point number 4, focus on what you actually do and need day to day, not what kind of feels nice, not what you're going to do like once every couple of months. Like if you're going to be in a proper networking place, you're going to be whatever, doing some networking events every couple of months, you can still do that. Specifically, if you go to Bali, Thailand, etc., and you're living in Jakarta, it's very easy to just go over there. And even to like Dubai, it's not really that difficult. So focus on your actual day to day. I find to be beneficial. So, what do you actually need and do day to day? You're going to be probably working on your laptop as a nomad. You're going to be wanting to eat clean. Generally, it's how we are. You're going to probably want to train. You're going to want to pray, obviously, if you're a Muslim. And yeah, what do you need? You need good, stable Wi Fi. So, you need to be in a place where the Wi Fi is good. And I found Indonesia to be good for that. I found Malaysia to be good for that. I found Egypt not to be good for that. No electricity issues. Obviously, you don't want to be electricity cutting out, living in some like this is the perception that we kind of get of what supposedly third world countries, that there's going to be loads of electricity issues, blah, blah, blah. In Jakarta and surrounding, I've not had any issues with that. Um, Alhamdulillah, my home never had the electricity go out once. So that is about it. Like as long as you've got those things, then you're good. So maybe you prefer to work in co-working spaces, cafes, etc. You actually do have a bunch of those. Like my city, Depok, you've got a bunch of those. Jakarta's going to have a lot more of those as well. And there's seemingly a big cafe culture. So you've got a lot of these sort of co-working style cafes. I've seen a bunch of those. And obviously you've got a bunch of the Starbucks, etc. So yeah, just really reflect what are you actually going to do day to day, and I find it to be super convenient for it. And the bigger benefit is more so the fact that you can outsource a lot of the admin stuff day to day. So you're not really going to have to go doing the groceries yourself. Like I've never done groceries here myself. It's just all delivered to me to my home. You don't have to do all this different sort of just fixing random things in the house, like the toilet seat, blah blah blah. You're not having to mess around with all this stuff. You can just pay a handyman. You've got them everywhere to do these things for you. You can get drivers for very cheap. You can get a maid, etc. So day to day, you're not really having to do a lot of admin stuff here, alhamdulillah, which I find to just help with so much convenience because it's insanely cheap. The average Indonesian earns $200 per month, so things have to be priced accordingly. And it means that you can ultimately get a lot of stuff done for a lot cheaper. So, alhamdulillah, I find that to be very good benefits, the biggest benefits. So, yeah, if you actually want to do the same process as me, getting married and making Hijrah to Indonesia, what you can do is book a free roadmap call to help you move forward with clarity, inshallah. So, what is this going to be? Telling me about your situation, what you're looking to do, etc. And then I'm going to give you a very tangible plan of when is each step going to actually happen? How is the process literally going to look for your specific situation? So, inshallah, you can move forward with clarity because it was an incredible decision I made, alhamdulillah. And yeah, alhamdulillah, it's a very, very important part of life as a Muslim. Getting married, as is Hijrah, so combining the two, I find to be a very beautiful thing. So, inshallah, if you are interested in that, then I will see you on there. So, yeah, assalamu alaikum.